Welcome to another episode of Core Discussions. My name's Legacy,
And my name's Max.
I'm Bobby.
Jay.
and we're here recapping the NBA playoffs so far. So let's go ahead, kind of through the first round, gentlemen. Let's share our thoughts.
I think we have to start with the Bucks losing. That's probably the biggest thing that happened.
Surprise.
But Jimmy Butler's he's that dude.
The Heat matchup, and the Heat have been this is now the second time the Heat have beaten the Bucks in the playoffs.
Well, and I feel like the Heat, they should have been better than the 8 seed. They didn't play that well in the regular season like they should have. So I think they really should not
Jimmy
be
out
that
for a while.
Jimmy was
Yeah,
out for a decent bit.
So they're not your typical 8 seed, that has like no talent. No, this is a really good team when they're healthy. They can compete.
all right. You don't have to excuse me because I have feelings about this series.
Okay, go ahead in your feelings.
For several years, I said I think Budenholzer should praise Giannis and give Giannis half of his salary because Giannis is the only reason that guy still has a job. Because even after they won a championship, I didn't think he was that great of a coach. And it clearly showed in this series. Spoelstra way out coached
He doesn't make adjustments.
Not at all. Like, yes, I know Giannis missed like a game and a half or two games.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But
they split those games, right? They split them?
Yeah, they split. They split because the one game they lost, Giannis played for a little bit and then got hurt. Like with game one, who got hurt.
So Giannis didn't win a single game.
Yeah. So and then the Heat also lost Tyler Hero, which was one of their better scorers. You're going down to your game like, okay, you're getting into game 5. All right, game 5. Jimmy Butler just put 50-something points on you. You know what I'm thinking the next game? Hey, guys, let's make sure somebody besides Jimmy Butler beats us. Maybe when he's torching Drew Holiday and he's already at 20-something points, maybe I should put Giannis on him. Maybe that should be a smart decision. Drew Holiday couldn't stop him. Or maybe a double team him. Something. Just force the ball out of his hands and beg somebody else from the Heat to beat you. Does he do that? No, he doesn't. Last second play, you don't have Brook Lopez in, who is one of the better rim protectors, who's been a pretty good defender. What do? They throw the ball next to the rim, and Giannis and Jimmy Butler gets the little layup to send it into overtime. Going into overtime, what happens the last play when the ball gets out of Giannis's the last play they have? Grayson Allen gets the ball. The play is clearly not working. There's 6 seconds. You have a timeout. Call the timeout. Redraw your you see this so many times with coaches of, hey, my play didn't work. I got a timeout. I figured out what their defense are set. Let's call a timeout. Let's reassess the situation and get a good play. Because if we don't get a playoff, guess what happens? We go home. Over and over pressure situations. He did not make adjustments. It's a constant thing. How this man has not, if this man survives again, it is beyond me. Can this team win a championship again? Are you good enough to win when Chris Middleton is your second best player?
Not anymore.
I know I don't think he's got it anymore. You got Jay Crowder. Is it kind of like Jay Crowder's not the same guy he used to be? Yeah, you made all these wins without Giannis. There's a difference between regular season and postseason. That's the difference between championships, and especially when you have an all-star player like Giannis, who has the potential to be an all-time great in his prime. Are you going to waste those years of his prime? And he's only going to have one title to show for it, because that's what it's looking like, especially if you don't get rid of Budenholzer. There's several coaches out there. I'm just going to throw out a guy, Tyronn Lue. I think he's a very underrated coach. We're probably going to get into him a little bit later. Giannis, when you're one of the best players, you cannot stray away from the ball. In that overtime, he did not want the ball because he had missed all those free throws. He was running away. He was trying to pass the ball. He almost turned. They had that one where he threw the ball out. I think Chris Middleton had to save it from going out of bounds. You can't, you're the best player, dude. Especially if you're saying he's the best player in the NBA. Come on. You got to have the ball in your hands. You have to finish. Free throw shooting this playoffs was atrocious. Yeah, you should be very disappointed because this is arguably one of the biggest choke jobs in NBA history, where a team who was a title contender lost 4-1 and should not have. There you go with my rant.
Yeah, they were one of the favorites to win the title, clearly, because they were a 1 seed. And so one of the biggest upsets of all time for a series. Another thing that kind of surprised me with the East is I thought Cavaliers Knicks would have been a much better series.
Yeah, that was a shocker. Only 5.
I thought that could have been a potential Game 7 series. Because I thought they were pretty evenly matched, but the Knicks, I wanted the Knicks to win, so I'm glad it was over quickly. But yeah, I was surprised by how much they dominated.
It also wasn't really much of a series.
It was a pretty good one. I think just defensively, they kind of just figured out Mitchell, and the Cavs just had no other answer. Just really had nothing else for the Knicks. So, yeah, that was a surprising one. Yeah, I thought it was gonna go 6 or 7.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
76ers, no real big surprise.
I thought that would go 4.
Yeah.
I had that as a sweep.
The other one is going to be Celtics Hawks. I mean, Celtics kind of made it a harder series than it really should have been.
It shouldn't have gone as far as it did.
You never really felt that they were about to lose it.
Oh, no,
you know,
no.
you're like, they'll go in and win. It's just hard,
No, it's felt they're just wasting their energy that they need to save for this series.
Yeah, I will give big shout out to Trae Young. That game 5 to extend the series. He had some big clutch plays in that. So, going to be interesting with the Hawks situation with Trae Young, because I know there's been a lot of talk of, does the team like him? Do you want to keep him? What's going to happen in that whole situation?
I bet you a lot of people on that team don't like him. He seems like a little asshole. Dude.
Yeah, it really doesn't seem like he's that guy, but and I mean, Trae Young just can't be your best player on a championship team. We're going to go to West, Nuggets, Timberwolves.
I was honestly surprised the Timberwolves got one game. I thought that was going to be a sweep.
They were lucky to get a game.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you're surprised that whole, Gobert and Karl Anthony Towns. And also the fact you had both of them and they still didn't slow down Jokic at all.
Yep.
So, what was the point of that move again?
5 first-round picks. 5 first-round picks.
That's insane.
Yeah, at least slow down Jokic so it looks like, okay, at least what we wanted.
But after that, we got the Suns Clippers. That was seemingly going to be a fun series as well. The 5-4 is really disappointed this year. This one, because the best players in the Clippers got hurt. Kawhi got hurt during the series.
I don't know what the Clippers do with Kawhi. Like, do they keep him? I don't know what they do, because either way, it just doesn't seem like, one, you can rely on him, but 2, you kind of do need him.
It just depends your aspirations at this point, because I'm like, I feel that championship window is kind of gone. Like,
yeah, I don't see the Clippers.
He's not going to be healthy. He's not going to be healthy enough.
It's just consistently hurt when you need them, so you just can't rely on them.
Yeah, like he can't play half the season, and then what else do you got? And I think the big one is for the Clippers with Tyronn Lue. I think he's done a great job coaching with the fact that his 2 stars kind of been in it. His big star has been in and out. Has barely been there. And, Paul George's gotten hurt, but he's still done pretty well. I mean, I think if I'm him, he might want to ban the ship. I think he's one of the best coaches in the NBA. Him and Spoelstra are some of the best coaches in the NBA right now.
Spoelstra needs to get more props.
On the other hand, Bobby, Devin Booker, was kind of showing you up during that series, especially those last couple games. Just
how's he doing now?
Yeah, I'm just saying that series. We're talking about that series. We're not on that yet. All right, we're talking about that series. He's kind of, he's giving the business out there.
Like I said, he's good. He's good in the early rounds. It's just, when you need him a lot of times, he gets a little too ahead of himself, and then his cockiness seems to be his downfall.
All right, we'll go into probably the most exciting series, the Kings versus the Warriors.
It was really the only good series in the first round.
Yeah. It kind of sucked that De'Aaron Fox's finger got hurt because it kind of just affected the play. But all in all, still pretty good games. I mean,
the last one.
The last one, it was just Steph Curry just went a different mode, and they had nothing really they could do.
They were giving him everything, though. I didn't understand their defense.
No, they really haven't been good at defense all season, so that kind of has been a concern.
Yeah,
Can't stop anybody.
Focus.
Yeah. Can't really stop anybody, so I mean,
we'll stop anybody. We'll just outscore them.
Do you think the Kings have staying power, or you think this is a 1-year fluke?
I think they have staying power.
I think they got staying power.
Yeah.
I don't think they'd be like a top 3 seed every year, but
they'll get over 40 wins again.
I think they have some staying power. They're also one of those teams that now you got to think about what's our next move. We know De'Aaron Fox is our guy. Sabonis did pretty well. Like, what's our next move to keep elevating us to our next point? Because, again, it was a pretty good series. The Harrison Barnes shot, like, that goes into much different.
My mind that De'Aaron Fox saw Malik Monk open and didn't pass it to him.
Yeah, that's a different series. I think it's just making some adjustments. As much as I do, I think you need a better 2 for him.
Yeah,
for the team if you want to go far. If I'm them, they might be a team that I have to start thinking about. Well, if the Clippers are getting rid of Paul George, or if the Clippers are going to get rid of Kawhi Leonard, like possibly consider there kind of to give me.
I mean, you put if a healthy Kawhi is on this Kings team.
Because you could sit him all the games you need it with some of these other teams that we're talking about. They only have a couple years. They only have so long of a span left. So we're gonna go into our last one of the first round, the upset that wasn't an upset.
No, I saw it coming I saw it coming a mile away.
The Grizzlies, America's trying to be America's most hated team, just like. Can we just talk about how like everything the Grizzlies did from like that Ja Morant situation on has just been like, what the like?
It was just a year ago. People were like, oh, hey, this team is like a wholesome and like great. Like they were trying to be like the face of the NBA.
Yeah, there will be the next big team, but now it's like, nah, man. I mean,
Dylan Brooks is coming back apparently under no circumstances.
I love that. I just love that part. Insane. Under no circumstances.
It's insane.
And he's an unrestricted free agent, so they can match an offer. But they're
saying we don't give a shit if you cost $1. You're not here, pal. You can pay us to play, and we still wouldn't let you.
I mean, there's just that one picture of Desmond Bane just looking at him. I think it was after Game 4 of just like staring at him, like, why'd you have to open your mouth, man? Like what? And then LeBron with
LeBron.
Like,
the Grizzlies are essentially saying, "It's not me, it's you." Okay.
It's like, why'd you ignite this team at all? Like, dude, we were already the underdogs. Like, don't make them want to play us. He says all those things of like, oh, I don't respect anybody till they drop 40, till they drop 40 on me. And then people were like, well, he had 20 plus points and 20 plus rebounds on you. So he dropped that 40 on you. He can't go left. He goes left for the game.
He goes left for the ceiling or game time bucket.
And he says he's old. It's like, yo, dude, oh man. I'm like, oh god.
So he's like a clown, man.
You do like sometimes.
And he shot terribly this year. So I believe it was like 31%.
Mm-hmm. He was crap. Like I think the other one they have to start really talking about, Ja Morant.
He needs to calm down in his layup.
You learn you can't jump over everybody. You can't dunk on everybody, man.
You're not Jeff Hardy, man.
You're not going to have a long career if you keep trying to do that crap of dunking. Because several people just realize, I'll just take the charge.
And he was already banged up going into a series. Yeah. He had a bum wrist.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, because when he fell, it was just like, good Lord. Is he getting
and LeBron got him twice with charges in pivotal moments because he just jumped like way too high.
I saw somebody saying they should really start looking at some of these charge rules, but I'm like, a couple of the times I'm like, well, like, it's not their fault this guy doesn't understand control. Like, what are you going to do?
I would say, like,
you got to keep the dirty play.
Yeah, I would say they probably need to revise, like, you know, the NFL and the catch. No one knows what a catch is. No one knows what a charge is.
Though, as we've spoken about, they are calling a lot more charges this year than I have in previous years.
Yeah, that was clearly a focus in the refs meeting.
Let's get a little bit into the second round of what's happened so far. We'll get into it. D3 mentioned it earlier with what has Booker been doing lately. So the Nuggets now have a 2-0 lead on the Suns, including the game where 84 points they scored?
Yeah, I think 87, 84, 87,
like that's the lowest. Like, I mean, that's one of the lowest I've seen in a while, but that's the lowest they've had since they had Kevin Durant on their team.
All I know is why was Booker so upset with that perfectly legal screen that Bruce Brown set? I understand why are you so upset? It's a perfectly legal screen. He just can't handle losing. That's his problem. He just can't handle losing.
Well, it's hard. It's hard to lose. Not a lot of people like to lose.
Look at LeBron. When he loses, he doesn't pout most of the time.
Yeah, I mean, they have a. I think the thing that's shocking some of us is they're having a command 2-0 lead. I mean, granted, they are going to Phoenix, and we'll see what happens.
It's still early. They
have
can change it.
I thought this series was gonna be more competitive, which it might get there. So we'll see.
And Chris Paul's out game 3 to 5. They say so. We'll see.
Which is a very big deal.
Yeah, and it is a big deal because
they say he's gonna reevaluate in a week.
Yeah, because the Suns have the top 4, but their bench is not crazily deep.
Right.
That gets interesting because who's going to be point guard for them now?
Aaron Payne, I think.
Yeah. So that makes that's going to be a very interesting situation. But I mean, shout out to the Nuggets. I mean, the Joker is just killing it this series.
I would not mind I wouldn't mind them going to the championship.
That would be a very interesting and good for the city. I mean, Nuggets don't really have a history, but
it'd be something new.
Oh yeah, the other one we can get into is the one that just wrapped up a little bit ago. It was the Knicks beating the Heat to tie the series at 1 apiece.
I expect them to do that with Jimmy Butler out.
Yeah,
it was more of a game than I thought it would be.
Sure, the Heat did fight.
It's a shame for the Heat because they would have. I think they would have been up 2-0 if Butler played.
Oh yeah, I was thinking it was going to be gentleman's sweep if Butler plays. The big upset was the Celtics losing to the Sixers with Embiid out, and I think James Harden rolling back the clock a little bit to the old James Harden.
Mm-hmm. So he took offense to what you said about him earlier this year. He didn't appreciate that.
Yeah, he heard me. He heard me when I said it and said, "Hey, look, I'm more than happy if that's what it took to ignite the old James Harden out. Come and play."
There's just no way the Celtics win a championship, right? I mean, there's just no way a championship team will let this sort of game get away from them. I mean, there's such an all-time fumble to lose this game without the MVP playing the game.
Yeah, and also just why they just keep having these moments with I really like Tatum, but sometimes I'm like, Tatum, you need to take this game over more than you do. I think he took 4 shots in the fourth quarter or something like that. No, the game's closed. Why are you not? Because he was doing well. Why are you not taking more shots? And also the last play, I think Smart was trying to pass it to him, but why is it in Smart's hands? It should have been in yours, Tatum.
Right. Why? Smart can't shoot.
Yeah, you're the best player. That ball needs to get into your hands.
You got 2 options: Jaylen Brown or Tatum, not Marcus Smart.
Mm-hmm. I think the interesting thing is what happens. What happens if they lose? Celtics lose this round. What happens with that Celtics team? Because is it a point you start really saying this?
We're maxed out.
They ain't winning it. They ain't winning. We might have to trade somebody or figure something out.
I mean, I feel like you still got to keep Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum because they're both just too good to give up.
But I think you are at the point though where if let's just say you can swing and trade for someone like Durant, you would trade Brown.
Oh yeah.
You're like, okay, I've seen that this potentially may not work out. Let me get an all-time great.
Mm-hmm. Now there's some Celtics fans would rather trade Tatum than Brown.
Well, there's also
you get more for Tatum.
Brown isn't happy, and there's been rumors circulating, but I don't know how true they are. He just lost, so we'll see. Another option, if you were to trade Brown, Dallas. He could be a very good piece for Dallas. If I'm Dallas, that is a piece I think about of giving Luka a defender who could also and another person who could score. So
Brown, the Mavs, that would be great.
What would Dallas give up though?
I have
first round picks.
Which whatever ones they did.
If Gobert's worth 5, the Browns worth like 7.
Yeah, whatever they trade with the Kyrie ones, but yeah, probably a couple first round picks, a couple players, but I don't know. Yeah, because I mean, to get Brown, that's a high price, and to get Tatum is also a high price. Anytime you trade a star like that, so. And then currently the game going on right now, I think will probably be the best series of all. This round is going to be the Lakers versus the Warriors. A lot riding on this. Pretty sure this is the first 6 versus 7 to ever play each other.
That's interesting.
And the crazy thing is, I thought it would be both of them winning. Like I was not even shocked at all.
Yeah, just shocked.
And I feel like most people thought this.
This was just such a weird season. I think, because I think even us were we've talked about it. This is a season where we wouldn't be shocked if the lowest seed wins it. A low seed wins it, with the Lakers being 6, the Lakers being 7, the Warriors being 6.
Then the Heat 8.
All the
watch it still be the Nuggets.
Yeah, and still the Nuggets is what he can do. I mean, he wins. We're really gonna have to put him in the echelon of now that greatest centers conversation.
He can finally stop getting shit from people online who think he's no good.
Depending what happens with the Sixers, again, a lot of crap's gone to Joker's playoff success, and Bean's playoff success hasn't been great, and he's been injured a lot of times. He's gotten hurt during the as much as you want crap on him, Bean's not been that much better. Anyways, it's still gonna be interesting. I mean, I think there's a couple team race with this. I'm gonna be honest, the Knicks are the only team I just cannot see any way of them winning right now. I think every other team, the Heat, not likely, but maybe Jimmy Butler can pull off.
I can see them making it at least.
I can see them making it. Winning's another story, but I really think out of 3 of the 4, Warriors, Lakers, Sixers, Celtics, Nuggets, Suns, I could all see still winning. So it's kind of interesting. At this point, 6 out of the 8 teams, I would not be surprised if they won. So thank you again for watching. Please share, subscribe, all of that good stuff. Let us know your playoff thoughts. Let us know what you think so far. My name's Legacy.
And I'm Max.
I'm Bobby.
Bob and Jay.
And may the discussions begin.